Right.
Hello and welcome back to my Let's Play of Trials of Gold Steel 2. This is Wishblend reporting in. They're just making our escape on the Pantagruel's ship with Princess Elise. As you see, we've just come all the way up here in the last episode. So now, as we just saved, it's bound to be a boss battle. So let's get into it.
How did you get ahead of us?
I'll freely admit I wasn't actually expecting you to join the Alliance. But not even in my wildest dreams did I imagine you'd try to flee the ship with our dearest princess.
You're a bold one, I'll give you that.
I wasn't expecting to run into either of you on the way out either. You guys aren't called the Phantom Thief and Duvalie the Swift for nothing.
Trying to praise us won't get us to let you pass.
Ha ha! Princess Alfin is one of this nation's most precious treasures. You surely couldn't have thought that I, the Phantom Thief, would allow you to steal her from us, could you?
Yeah.
I'm not being stolen by anyone. If anything, I was the one who whispered sweet nothings into his ear and tempted him to run away with me.
Oh my! What a passionate young lady you are. Forgive me for being so presumptuous. You've no doubt taken after your brother in more ways than one.
I'd like to believe that I'm not quite the oddball he is. I couldn't agree more with his belief that love is the truest form of beauty, however.
Really now?
They're actually hitting it off.
I think that's enough messing around for one day. You're an enforcer, Blue Blanc. Take your work seriously and behave!
Ha ha! I think the number of enforcers who take things seriously are in the minority, I'm afraid. Still, you're right about us having played around for long enough. I find the many mysteries surrounding you fascinating, but there's a certain appeal to them remaining forever unsolved, too.
You may think yourself a swordsman, but allow me to show you how little you truly know.
Are you sure you can do this?
I'll be fine. Don't worry about me. The gap in skill between us is small enough that I should be able to force our way through.
Oh?
Small? The difference in our strength is like night and day, you boor! And if you're foolish enough to be unable to see that, then allow me to make you realize your folly and pay for your arrogance.
The one being foolish and arrogant is you.
My.
Rean?
I owe me being able to do this to you, Your Highness. You and Elise. Now, everyone who's done anything to aid us in coming this far deserves thanks.
What's happened to him?
Could this be your ogre power?
8 leaves, 1 blade school, intermediate level. I, Rean Schwarzer, will be your opponent.
Yay! Evolve!
I will enjoy this.
This is his ogre power?
Here I go.
Yeah! Taste the burn!
Gather on my blade.
Oh, you only had to get him below 50%.
How can this be happening? What is he?
Ha ha ha! Splendid! Simply splendid! So you finally conquered your power and made it your own, did you? You continue to fascinate me, Rean.
Rean,
Forgive me, Your Highness.
what for?
goodness!
Wait just a damn minute!
He's been taking lessons from Fee.
Whoa, what's going on here?
I don't know, but I don't think it's worth us chasing after them.
We'll make our way directly to the deck. Are you all right, Your Highness?
Yes, perfectly. My heart just feels as if it's about to burst.
That doesn't sound very fine.
Come on, is now really the time to be flirting with each other?
You're here too.
You got some real guts, kiddo. But you ain't getting past us.
Zephyr's guard shall not be easily broken.
What the hell?
Looks like he's picked up a few tricks from our fee.
The targets have broken our line of defense. Commencing pursuit.
I'm sorry about that, Your Highness.
I'm fine. Don't worry about me. But, can I hold on to you a little tighter?
Of course.
Targets in sight. Commencing capture. My suspicions outlining you as an indecent person seem to have been confirmed.
Can you not make me out to be some kind of pervert all the time, please?
Perfect parrying.
Target lost. I may have underestimated you, Rean Schwarzer, in more ways than one.
I'm so sorry, Your Highness. I didn't really have any choice but to do that. I realize that's no excuse.
I know you didn't, but she seemed even younger than me. How could you, Rean? That truly is indecent.
Try not to pay any attention to what she says about me. There's the exit.
Don't change the subject.
And we're out. Still glowing.
That's the Ashen Knight? Isn't that
Yeah, trouble.
Crow? And
So that's how it manifests for you.
You finally mastered that power you got, huh? Still, you're one busy guy, you know that? One minute you're down in the dumps, the next, you've got one of the cutest girls in the country cheering you up.
Well, I can't deny it, but she wasn't the only one. There was my sister, our classmates, even you, in a sense.
Come on.
Can't say I'm not curious to see what that power of yours can do, but I think you get priority here.
Yeah, let me have this one.
Your Highness, if you don't mind.
all right.
This is your first time fighting me without the mask on, I think. With our Divine Knights, I come out on top. But let's see who wins when it's just the two of us.
Sounds good to me. You managed to win against 3 of us at once in the catacombs below Heimdall. But it's just you and me now. And this time, I'll be the victor.
Go ahead and try. All right, you ready, Rean?
Let's move.
Yeah.
Let's move. Ha! Here we go. Ha! Here we go. Ha!
I'm saving my combat points from the special attacks.
Eat this! My turn.
Okay, we're going that way, are we?
Burn to ash. Fall!
Not bad.
Let's move. Let's move.
You're getting
Let's move.
going there, mate.
Burn to ash. Fall! Eat this! Let's move.
This should kill
Burn
you.
to ash. Fall!
Yeah.
Damn.
That's what I can really do.
Yes, level up. Play to deck.
All right.
Where'd that come from?
You actually did it. I sure wasn't expecting you to beat me one-on-one.
You fought pretty well yourself. Couldn't have been easy to last as long as you did against me like this.
Rean!
Why did this have to happen now?
Guess your luck ran out.
Ha! We finally caught up to you.
Well, aren't you, Mr. Popular?
But I think you may have been slightly too reckless this time.
That wasn't a bad fight. Even if you lost, at least you tried, I guess.
Damn it.
Your Highness, please move away from me.
Hey, don't be too rough with...
Look sharp!
The Crimson Wing? Ugh.
What are you all?
Sorry for the wait, Rean.
Yo! We're here to save the day!
You caught us all off guard back in Ymir.
So this time we opted to take the initiative ourselves.
Yay.
We meet again, severing chains. And I see you've brought the purple lightning with you.
She brought more than that. Check out the Icy Maiden and that big shot arts user from the Bracer Guild.
We couldn't ask for a more impressive group. However,
Here it comes again.
Your lordship!
Uncle Victor!
It's good to see you again, Rean. And it relieves me to see you're none the worse for wear, Your Highness.
Ugh! A Radiant Blade Master is here too?
Huh. Well, you're strong. Very strong.
That's quite the nod, coming from the blazing demon himself. I can see now why you're considered one of the fiercest in Ouroboros. And why some even claim you to be the Steel Maiden's equal.
Well, I know who I'm gonna be fighting.
Don't you go forgetting about us now.
You're all here too?
Are you okay, Rean?
Looks like we've landed in the middle of something pretty crazy.
And not a moment too soon.
You came!
Glad to see you're all right.
We kind of got you
You certainly
outnumbered.
seem to have kept yourself busy. Enjoying your scandalous elopement with Rean, are you?
Oh, gave me the time of my life. You guys were having that much fun, huh?
And with our princess, Rean?
To think we were so worried about you.
You're not supposed to take it literally.
So this is what you threw me out of Valimar for? Doesn't look very fun.
Crow, you're here.
It feels like it's been ages since we last saw you.
You're looking spiffy, Crow.
I'm hanging in there. Sure wasn't expecting all of you to show up, though. How are we even gonna settle this?
That is the question, isn't it? I'd roughly estimate both sides to be of equal strength.
Yeah? So we'd probably just end up at a stalemate, huh?
Well, that doesn't sound like much fun at all. What say we just forego the fighting and have ourselves a party instead?
Ha ha ha! I could never turn down a party!
That sounds simply wonderful.
I'll bring the booze.
Ah! No, no, no! Can't one of you take this a little more seriously?
No.
This is getting us nowhere.
Look who decided to show up.
Krianos, Vita.
Welcome aboard the Pantagruel, Emma. Your overall ability as a witch might still be lacking, but that transportation spell was exceptional. I must apologize for the untimely intrusion. As displeased as a few of you might be by the idea, I think it best if we let one another peacefully go our separate ways this time. I'll be the one who bears the brunt of Duke Cayenne's anger.
Vita. Can't say I understand why we should.
It's not our place to question the orders of our client.
Whatever. Gives me something to look forward to later.
Okay. See ya, Fee.
Next time we meet, it will be as enemies.
Yep, I know.
Aww, I was kind of hoping we'd be able to talk some more.
I expect we will have multiple opportunities to do so in the near future.
Well, catch you later, Phantom Thief.
Or not. You do know that no one likes your stupid pranks, right?
Tut tut! There's no need to be so harsh. It's a shame we couldn't resume our debate on the nature of beauty this time, my most worthy rival.
I could wax eloquent about beauty till I'm old and gray, but honestly, I think it's about time we settled things between us.
Next time we meet, Radiant Blade Master and his daughter, it will be to battle.
Well, I certainly have no objection to that.
You seem to bear some manner of ill will against my household. I don't know your reasons, but should we be granted the opportunity, I would gladly settle things with you in battle.
Yes, well, let's not be too hasty. I can wait.
Guess that wraps things up for now. You've definitely grown, but you've still got plenty of room for improvement, especially when it comes to piloting Valimar. So unless you're up for another beatdown, I suggest you get to work on fixing that.
Yeah, I know. Oh, and just to confirm, you were the one who told Toval where I was, right?
2 days ago, I got a call out of nowhere on my Arcus. They gave me this crazy amount of detail on exactly where to find you. Then they just hung up. Didn't even say who they were. Oh, now that you mention it, he does have the same voice as that mystery caller. I did think he sounded familiar. That must have been because I'd heard it during your concert at the festival.
Damn, looks like the jig is up.
You really did that?
Oh, Crow, there's no shame in admitting that you care, you know.
And if I might be so bold as to offer a word of advice, get Valimar a better sword, one like yours. If you think you're such hot stuff you can beat me without your 8 leaves training, you're in for a world of hurt.
Correct choice of armaments is indeed paramount. Selecting one the Awakener is well suited to will increase combat efficiency exponentially.
I can't pretend to know much about this kind of thing.
He's right. Eastern blades like my Tachi are the heart and soul of the 8 leaves, 1 blade style swordsmanship. Alright, I'll take your advice. And when I've got myself one, I'll finally take everything back. The Academy, Elise, and even you, Crow.
If that's how you want it, I'd like to see you try.
Courageous! Full speed ahead!
Commence retreat from this airspace.
It's a nippy little thing. Yay, so that's that part done. On to the next bit.
If that is all, I will return to a state of inactivity.
Thanks for all you've done, Valimar. I'll be counting on you if anything else comes up.
Acknowledged. Prepare yourself for your next encounter with the Azure Knight, my Awakener.
Don't worry, I will. We lost last time, but I know that's not all I'm capable of. As long as we're all together, I know I can get stronger.
I eagerly await your results.
Looks like he went to sleep.
So, this is what the Great Ashen Knight looks like up close, huh? I've heard all manner of rumor about it, but I never expected I'd stand in the presence of a legend.
I can't possibly begin to thank you enough. I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't come to my aid. Thank you. Really. And that goes for everyone else, too. Thanks for coming to rescue me, guys.
We're just happy you're okay.
Just don't scare us like that again, alright?
True. We were all on edge waiting for you to get back.
And yet you somehow managed to come out unscathed with Her Highness in tow.
You make it sound like it was easy. Well, easy or not, it was worth going on board. I got plenty of useful info out of it. So funny enough, I'd say their invitation worked to my benefit more than theirs.
I guess there's no harm in looking at the positives now that all's said and done.
Look at you, acting mature and all grown up. Brings a tear to my eye.
Looks like we have some catching up to do.
I'd like to follow Rean's lead and extend my thanks to each of you as well. Thank you, all of you. And, dear brother, it's a relief to see you safe and sound. Though I never pictured my great escape would end with you in this airship of all things.
We did time our appearance fabulously, if I do say so myself. My only regret is that we weren't able to blow in with a storm of rose petals when we boarded them. Perhaps I should have asked Emma to look into the feasibility of making such a magnificent entrance.
Oh man, that would have been so cool!
Well, it's probably not impossible.
Now you're just being silly.
Sounds about right for our prince.
Well, at the very least, I'd say we're clear of any immediate danger. And given this opportunity, I'd like to sit down with you to discuss our situation and exchange any pertinent information. But first, I think we have a few more reunions to celebrate.
Rean!
Hey!
Toa!
George! I thought I heard your voices when we started flying away from the Pantagruel. So you were on board too?
You bet. Good to see you, Rean.
Whoa!
It's really you. You're really okay. No sooner had we found out that you were still alive, we got told you had been taken by the Alliance. We've been so worried about you.
I'm a real troublemaker, aren't I? Sorry, Toa. But I'm glad to see you and George made it out okay. Everything I've said to you has been at the back of my mind ever since we parted ways in Trista, and it's kept me going every step of the way. So, thank you.
Oh. You remembered. You promised me you wouldn't die. And you didn't. And then there was the promise you made during the festival after party. You said that next year you'd work to make the Academy even more wonderful than it is now. We still need to work on that one. But I know you're not the kind of guy who'd go back on his word.
See? Rean's a guy you can count on. Nice to see you're holding up okay. Still can't believe you made it through all that fighting in Trista in one piece, but... well, here you are.
Good to see you again, George. But how'd you two end up on the Courageous to begin with?
We'll bring you up to speed once we all sit down for our meeting. There's a conference room on one of the upper floors. We can meet there when you're ready.
Okay.
The Courageous began its independent operations right before Heimdall was first occupied. I realized what the Alliance was planning, so I gathered a skeleton crew, met with Viscount Arcade, and we hurried straight to Trista, where we found your classmates locked in combat with the Azure Knight.
I see. That explains why you were in Trista.
I shudder to think what would have happened if not for the Courageous's timely appearance. What have you been doing since then, Father? I hadn't heard anything about your whereabouts until now.
Eventually, we were able to shake off the Azure Knight's pursuit, and we've been traveling around the country ever since, preparing to find you and take you on board.
George and I haven't been here long. The principal managed to get in touch with the Courageous without anyone noticing and sent us here.
He did?
I hope he's still alright. By the way, what happened to Major Vander? You two are always joined at the hip.
Alas, he is currently indisposed. His military obligations have him heading up the 7th Armored Division in western Erebonia. They're working with your former instructor, Major Neidhart, as well.
With him too? So he's over in the west now.
Huh. I should have known the 4th Armored Division's ace wouldn't get his ass kicked so easily.
Oh, right. Dad said he'd heard from him too, remember?
Still, the west side of the country contains Marquis Hyarm's Sutherland province, along with Duke Cayenne's Lemaire province. The fighting there would no doubt be even more fierce than it is here in eastern Erebonia.
Correct. A large percentage of the Imperial Army's military strength still remains intact, but the Noble Alliance Forces' constant attacks have put them at a disadvantage. On top of that, a number of townships in the region have been caught in the crossfire and suffered great losses.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
I'd heard as much, but it still pisses me off to hear it.
With the 3rd and 4th Armored Divisions occupied on the eastern side of the country, one can only assume the Noble Alliance intends to use that as an opportunity to crush the forces in the west.
Yeah, but they're not stupid. I bet the army in the west is putting up a pretty good fight by themselves.
It's too early to call things just yet.
An astute assessment. The situation in the Western Theater could change at a moment's notice.
Right. But that means we're uncertain what course to pursue now. And having said that, we have a question to pose to all of you. The question, really. With the whole of the Empire caught in the throes of civil war, what exactly do all of you intend to do from here on out?
Us?
We were in the midst of discussing that when Rean was taken to the Pantagruel, in fact.
This is a full-on war, and our fellow Erebonian countrymen stand on both sides. No one here is delusional enough to think that a group of students like us are capable of stopping it by ourselves. Still, during our field studies, we found ourselves up against the problems this nation faces again and again. And because we have that experience, I believe there's a place for us to change things in all this. A part only we can play. We may not be able to compete head-on with the Alliance, but together, we can move things in the right direction for Erebonia as a whole.
That was wonderful, Rean.
Still, we aren't all gathered here for the same reasons, be it rescuing Elise or settling things with Crow. We've all got something that we personally want to accomplish, but accomplishing those things won't be possible with the situation as it stands. And that's why, no matter how stacked the odds are against us, or how fierce the fighting becomes, we want to put everything we have into making all the difference we possibly can, in whatever way we can. I think I speak for everyone in Class 7 when I say that.
You bet.
I agree completely.
We may all come from different walks of life, but this time, that can work for us.
Exactly. We have something no one else does, and because of that, we can do things no one else can.
And what kind of class would we be if we didn't take advantage of that to protect the people and things we love?
As well as find our own answers to the questions we have looming over us.
As Rean said, however big or small it is in the long run, we have a place in this war, and we have every intention of following it.
Sounds like it'll be a pain, though.
No biggie. We're Class 7. Throw in a few of Rean's trademark speeches and we're raring to go.
Look at you kids.
You all sound like you've really thought long and hard about this.
That's the Class 7 I'm proud to serve.
And you guys aren't the only ones who feel that way. Everyone at Thor's has something to bring to the table. Remember the Academy's motto? Arise, O youth, and become the foundation of the world.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That was what Principal Van Dyke said to us at the welcoming ceremony.
The words of Dreikel's the Lionheart serve to inspire us to this day, it would seem.
Of course. They ring as true as ever.
It's like you didn't even have to think about it. You guys just knew.
Yeah, you should be proud of yourselves. And it's true that Thor students are scattered all over the country right now. But I'm sure that each and every one of them are fighting too, and they feel the exact same way that you guys do.
I understand, Your Highness.
Indeed. I figured you would have already given it some thought, but I wasn't expecting such a stirring conviction. But I think this at least settles the matter of what course to take. If you would do the honors, Captain.
As you wish. We're about to do something neither side would ever expect us to do. We're going to entrust this ship to you. From here on out, the Courageous is yours to command as you see fit.
What?
What?
Yeah, out of left field, that one.
Father, would you mind elaborating?
It means exactly what it sounds like. The operation of this ship will be left entirely to your discretion. I imagine your journey to make a difference in this war needs a home base to begin from.
Well, yes, but...
But then what will you do?
We plan to disembark and make our way to the western provinces. Once there, we'll begin working with the 7th Armored Division and the other neutral forces in the region. The intention is to ensure that as few innocents as possible are harmed by this conflict.
I was actually worried this airship might prove a bit too conspicuous to aid us in pursuing that goal. But with us headed west, we'd be leaving all of eastern Erebonia in your hands.
Wow.
I see. That does make the most logical sense.
Kinda. If we've got the Courageous, we could give our third faction some real weight. Neither side could afford to ignore us.
I'm not even sure the Guild could come up with a plan this wild.
Well, it's fair to say I've learned a lot from the way the Guild's members handle things, yourself included. Oh, and Alphen?
Yes?
I'd like to ask you to remain on board the Courageous as well. This ship is technically the property of the Arner household, fathers in particular. It should give them a certain freedom to act if they have concrete backing from a member of the Imperial family.
I'd be happy to. Henceforth, I, Princess Alphen Rice Arner, will guarantee the legitimacy of their actions. So do whatever you see fit to do. You have my full support.
Thank you, Your Highness.
Wow!
We are truly honored to have you with us.
No turning back now.
Yeah, seriously.
We hereby humbly accept custody of the courageous.
Please, leave Eastern Erebonia to us.
We'll be counting on you then.
I'm looking forward to toasting your future successes.
Okay. On that day, Class 7 was entrusted with the day-to-day running of the Courageous. Viscount Azure and Prince Oliver decided they would disembark near Legram and travel to western Erebonia across the lake. And after receiving the bare minimum of instructions on how to operate the ship, its bright-eyed new owners set course for the Liberl Highway. Okay, so what we're going to do now.
I'm leaving you in charge of the Courageous's day-to-day operations. I don't doubt you'll make a fine acting captain.
It would be an honor.
So how do I look? Different. It really, wow, it really does suit you. Yeah, the size is just right too. Fortunately, I had a spare on hand that was a size smaller. That is quite fortunate. Yeah, right. You had this plan, didn't you? You're kind of like a cute mascot, like a human Mishy. Perhaps we should capitalise on this opportunity with an irresistible line of Captain Tower merchandise. That sounds a wonderful idea. Oh, you two are terrible. Gotta say, that hat's a nice touch, Tower. It really suits you. Yep, you definitely look the part of a captain with it. I had to think things would be just fine here in our absence. Yeah, you guys won't be needing us around much longer. So you guys are taking off then? Yeah, be disembarking together with Father, yes. It was nice to help out until you guys got back together again, but now that you are, there's no use in me sticking around. With the situation to the west what it is, I've decided to help out over there instead. I intend to return to commanding the RMP. I believe that's the best way I can contribute to bring this war to an end. We understand. Bye bye, Claire. If you bump into Lecter somewhere, make sure to say hi for me. I'll be sure to do so. I haven't been entrusted with a number of research tasks by Chairman Irana, as it so happens, so this is farewell for now. That doesn't sound shady at all. But, well, stay safe, alright? Whether you're a member of Erebonia or not, it never changed how your family's made. Oh my. I'm touched to hear you say so. Please, my lady, take care of yourself. Still, let's keep in touch, okay? I'm going to keep gathering as much info as I can through Guild's intelligence network. It's not like Erebonia is the only place where strange stuff's going on now. True, I'm particularly concerned about what's happening over in Crossbell. Anyway, I'll leave that to you. Give my regards to Miles. You know it. Thanks for everything that you've done for us. I'm sure we wouldn't have been able to come this far if not for your help. And no need to get all stiff all of a sudden. You're embarrassing me. We may be working separately from now on, but I intend to do all I can to aid you in the future. Take care, everyone.
Rean, this is just a little parting gift from me. It's always come in handy for me when I was in a pinch, so I hope it'll help you out too.
Thanks, Toval. You've done a lot for us. It always felt like you were looking out for me, even when it came to my future.
Think nothing of it. You kids are the future, after all. But remember, this is where it starts getting serious. Get yourself through this war in one piece. Find something you want to dedicate your life to. And hey, if you ever decide you want to follow the same path Sarah and I did, you'll be welcomed with open arms, okay?
I'll be sure to give it some thought.
Okay, okay. Knock it off with the scouting.
Well then, it's time we bid you all a fond farewell for now. Chin up, Alphen. I'm counting on your charm to keep everyone motivated.
May the goddess be with you.
I look forward to the stories you'll have to tell when next we meet, Laura.
Good luck, Father.
A lot of cutscenes here. But it's a nice ship.
Well, there they go. You think they'll be okay on their own?
Only the goddess herself knows for certain. Still, with some already calling this a second advent of the War of the Lions, I can only hope they make it through unscathed.
Oh, I'm sure they'll all be just fine. They don't bear the symbol of the horned lion for show.
Yes, I suppose you're right. And the same goes for me, too. I can't very well call myself a Thor's alumnus and fail to deliver.
Well, well, are we birds of a feather? Proud Thor's graduates unite. I'll be in touch with them plenty in the coming weeks, so don't worry. The old guard will do as it must to keep watch over the young and vigilant. Speaking of the old guard, Chancellor Osborne was also a Thor's graduate, was he not?
Yes, he was.
Sorry to say, I can't picture it.
Was he now?
He and I may have had our differences, but I still feel a certain loss with his passing. I'd like to express my condolences to you while I have the chance.
I'm afraid I never had the chance to truly get to know him, but there's no doubt in my mind that he was one of the greatest men of our time.
Thank you.
Still, it must be tough for you with Heimdall under the Alliance's thumb. Were you able to find out where his funeral was held?
Actually...
Captain?
Is something amiss?
It's just that I received a strange report on that very issue. I was told his body was taken into the custody of the Imperial Guardsmen when the city was occupied. But then after that, it simply disappeared at some point.
Disappeared, you say?
Is it possible the reformist faction could have taken it from them?
I'm afraid I don't know. It is possible that the Intelligence Division did something to that effect.
A disappearing corpse is certainly cause for concern. It's difficult not to draw parallels with the Lance Maiden's sudden death following the War of the Lions.
Unbelievable. I'm almost impressed how much trouble one man can stir up, even from beyond the grave. He had so many plots in motion. I doubt even his death put a stop to them all.
Okay. So what we got to do now?
No change in weather or wind direction since entering Kreutzen provincial airspace.
We are currently cruising at a speed of 3,000 SPH. Nothing abnormal detected on the radar thus far.
Yeah, for speed and that, if you're in the UK, just convert the S to an M for miles per hour. That's 3,000 miles an hour. That's fast.
Detour around the Twin Dragons Bridge, staying within the clouds. Take extra care that we aren't noticed by the Noble Alliance's surveillance.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. She's a real natural at this.
Yeah. It's hard to believe she's only been in the position for a day.
Indeed. She has proved a worthy captain in Father's place.
As if anyone could fit the role better than our student council president.
She still looks like a mascot character, though.
That's just one of her many charms.
Yeah, and besides, I can feel at ease knowing she's in charge. So, today's the day we start our journey anew, right?
Right. We settled what we'll be doing last night. Now all that remains is to do it.
Okay, so what did you decide?
Well, Toa and George should be able to handle the day-to-day running of the ship, so that's out of the way. And whatever we decide, it's not like we're going to be able to do anything major today. Still, I think it's time we start hammering down exactly what we're going to be doing from tomorrow onward.
In theory, the Courageous gives us the ability to fly around the whole country with ease. But, in reality, the Noble Alliance has control over most of Erebonia, so we're limited in where we can actually go.
Yeah, we don't want to risk getting too close to Alliance territory. We'd run the risk of being captured, or even worse, being shot down.
It's sad to think how we barely have anywhere we can land with an amazing airship like this at our disposal.
Care to share your thoughts on this, instructor?
Oh, you kids can just do whatever you want. I lost the will to put in any effort after Captain Classy got off.
You slacker.
I'm pleased that you think so highly of my father, but...
Maybe Laura can hook you up with a one-on-one lecture on the Arcade School of Quartzmanship, if you know what I'm saying.
I was kidding. In all seriousness, if you need more people fighting in whatever you end up doing, I'll be happy to help you out. Just don't forget that the Courageous was entrusted to you kids, not to me. If you want my advice, then you got it. But you need to be able to make all the important decisions on your own.
Of course.
You almost sound like an instructor for once.
Getting back to the matter at hand, we don't need to decide everything right at this moment. What say you to figuring out how and what for now?
Come again?
I assume what would be our overall goal. Something realistic that we can all work together towards. And the how would be a basic idea on how we intend to achieve it?
Uh-huh. It's a little trick we use in the student council. It's easier to get motivated when you have a specific goal in mind.
You guys were doing the same kind of thing in the weeks before the Academy Festival, remember? The concert was what you were working toward, and all your other planning was how you intended to pull it off.
I see. That makes sense.
We did spend a lot of time before and during the festival working out all the details, come to think of it.
Not to mention taking care of the things we couldn't plan, like the strange stuff at the old schoolhouse.
We were coordinating with all of the other classes and clubs at the same time, too.
When you break it down step by step, we did so much without even realizing it. And we may have our own personal goals right now, but if we can wrap those up into one overarching goal, it won't seem half as much.
How about making it something related to the Academy itself, then?
I was thinking the exact same thing.
I wonder what's happening there.
Toa, George, the Academy is currently under the Noble Alliance's control, right?
That's right. The staff and students who are there are doing what they can, but...
As you know, during the attack, a lot of the students managed to flee Trista and are now scattered across the country. Now, most of the upper-class students chose to stick it out, though. They've got no reason to fear the Alliance, being nobles and all.
All right, then. I think our what should be taking back the Academy.
That sounds good to me. The Courageous will serve as a good means of transport, but we'll need a proper base sooner or later.
But with it, we can get a better look at the current state of things in Erebonia and try to reach out to those who are in need.
And whatever information we learn along the way could bring us that much closer to liberating the Academy.
Can't see taking it back going that smoothly, though.
No doubt. It's near the capital, so its defenses are gonna be rock solid.
Still, I like it. What goal is more worthy of us than reclaiming something we hold so dear?
Indeed. Regardless of personal motivations, I can't think of an objective more fitting to us as a group.
And if we actually manage to achieve it, the sky's the limit for us.
I'm genuinely moved by your positivity.
Well, their optimism is probably their strongest point.
We were thinking of something along the same lines, in fact, so it works out. And hey, if we all thought about it, what's to stop the others from thinking it too? So if you happen to bump into anyone who escaped from the Academy, why not go and ask them to join us? I'm not saying it has to be your primary focus or anything, but the more people we have on our side, the better.
That's a great idea!
Yeah, we'll be sure to keep an eye out.
Yep.
We have about the bare minimum crew we need to fly at the moment, but it's not like this is their full-time job. I'm sure our current staff won't be here forever, so we're gonna need a few extra hands on board at some point. Ideally, we could have whoever's here now stick around long enough to train anyone we end up recruiting.
I know our numbers are small right now, but the more people we can get on our side, the higher chance we stand of making Trista and the Academy our home again. And I don't know about you, but I get this weird sense of satisfaction knowing that we students are gonna be the ones to do it.
I know the feeling, actually.
Everything works for me. I'd say that's our how decided, wouldn't you?
Agreed. To wrap all this up, we'll use the Courageous as our base, and as a way to get a good idea of the current state of things in Eastern Erebonia. Along the way, we'll try to recruit as many fellow Thor students to help us out as we can, all for the sake of our primary goal, taking back Thor's military academy.
Seems a good goal to aim for. Well, I suppose what we need to decide next is where we should head for first. Yeah, we don't have many places we can go at the moment, but there's Legram, Yamar, the North Highlands. We're able to land at the 4th Armament Division space too, right? Yeah, I asked Dad about that yesterday and he's fine with it. Probably better for us to swim by all of them once, really. Oh, almost forgot. Prince Oliver sent you a few requests to take care of. He did? Oh joy. Yeah, the details are all right behind you. Behind us? Ah, there's a Noble computer here. I've only ever really used one in class. No need to fear, technology doesn't bite. Plus, it'd be easier in the long run for you just to grab your stuff from here. Go on, take a look. Sure. Oh, look, yes, they're made by the, these are made by the Espen Foundation, so they're identical to the ones we use in class. Yep, yeah, there we go. Something's popped up. So that's how everything's displayed. The Intelligence Division has some of these too, I think. Okay, yeah, so what we got? Monster Madness. Large monsters appeared in the Highlands. So you've got to go kill it. First year Thor students to find. Basically got to find a lost person. And another search thing. There's one from Nord, one from the ground, one from Granger's Proving Ground. Seems we've got plenty of work in store for us all over the country. And how I wish it were my imagination, but I think I saw a depressingly familiar name on one of them as well. I'm kind of worried about the one Dad sent us. And I don't think we can ignore the unusual monster that's appeared in the Nord either. Prince Oliver took time to gather and send all of these to himself. Wow, how did he manage to do all that? He's just left for west of Erebonia. He's a wizard. He can do these things. He's a guy with plenty of connections, especially through the Bracer Guild. He said he's going to keep finding stuff like this that he thinks you can handle and send them your way. How many you end up doing is up to you, but I'd recommend taking care of the more urgent ones at least. Understood? I don't think any of us mind one bit. Indeed, it helps focus our goals of touring the region and helping those in need. With that being said, I would assume checking the safety of our fellow Thor students is our top priority. I took the liberty of giving you that myself. We're slowly gathering information on where other Thor students could be. Anytime we find something, we'll update the computer, and who knows, maybe they'll be willing to join us too. How convenient. I'm suddenly very grateful for those classes. Guess we'll be checking this thing pretty often. Well, I think that's almost everything. When you decide what you want to do, where you go first, please let me know, okay? Oh, and George is hard at work setting up an orbital factory in the ship's hold. So if you need any modifications made to your archers or any of your quartz, you can sort those out there. While you're at it, it's worth checking out the other facilities on board too. It's not much now that we're short on staff, but I'm sure any students you recruit will get creative with their space. might as well. Still, do you mind guys if we figure out who's going to be making up our first after party when we disembark first? Actually, if we're doing it now, would you mind including me? I'd like to see that strange monster from the Highlands request myself. I don't mind at all. That sounds fair. I come with you if you need a hand too. Just let me know if I'm needed, okay? Thanks, instructor. Now let's see. Okay. Some low levels here. So bring that one. Okay, let's get going. Right. Let's go. The Awakening Lions, Act 2. I should probably do as the instructor recommends and tour the facilities on board at least once before disembarking. It's not much, but it'd be smart to go and see George in the ship's hold and pay a 5-mile visit. Might be good to see Princess Alphen too. You can now view student info tab in the notebook. Okay. Wow. That was a lot of cutscenes. So, with that in mind guys, I'm going to be bringing this episode to a close. Because I need to have a break and get something to eat, etc. So, if you're basically enjoying it, please hit a like, drop any comments down below, and subscribe to the channel by clicking on the subscribe in the bottom corner. And with that, I'll see you in the next one. Later.